Today, it's harder than ever to eat a healthy diet. Our lives are very busy, so we don't have a lot of time to prepare healthy meals. Nowadays, a lot of people prefer to buy fast food because it's quick and cheap. So how healthy is your diet?
I do not have a healthy diet at all. I like cheeseburgers, I like bad food.
Not so healthy. I eat a lot of sugar, so sugar is not very good for you.
I think I have a healthy diet. 80% of the time I eat whole foods, home-cooked food, meat, vegetables. I don't like much junk food or much processed food.
Experts are always telling us what to eat. They all agree that it's important to eat a lot of fresh vegetables, that fish is better for us than red meat, and we need to drink water, not fizzy drinks. But they also change their minds about which foods are healthy and unhealthy. For a long time, scientists told us that foods high in fat, like butter and cheese, were unhealthy. Now they're not quite so sure. Studies around the world have shown that cheese can help people lose weight, have healthy teeth, and even become smarter. There are lots of people following modern diets, like the keto diet or the paleo diet, because they believe eating fat is actually good for you, while eating carbohydrates like rice or bread isn't very healthy. While researchers tell us it's not a good idea to eat a lot of sugar, some experts say that eating small amounts of chocolate might actually have some health benefits. Dark chocolate with a high cocoa content contains healthy fats and a lot of minerals, and can help lower blood pressure and the risk of heart disease. It can also make you smarter and happier. No wonder most people love chocolate. When you think about somewhere that's famous for its chocolate, you might think of Switzerland. In Switzerland, people eat more chocolate per person than anywhere else in the world. Just over 9 kilograms a year. The story of chocolate probably started over 2,500 years ago in Central America. The ancient Mayans and Aztecs used cocoa beans mixed with some water and spices to make a special drink. They didn't have any sugar, so the drink wasn't sweet. Spanish explorers first brought cocoa beans to Europe about 500 years ago. But it wasn't until around 170 years ago that a British company started making solid chocolate bars. Now, our shops are full of thousands of different chocolate products. Some of the most famous chocolate makers, like Lindt, are Swiss. The Lindt company is over 170 years old. At their factory in Zurich, the master chocolatiers can still make chocolate by hand. The process of making chocolate is very similar whether you make it by hand or in a factory. The chocolatiers choose the best cocoa beans. Most cocoa beans grow in Western Africa. First, they roast the beans. This gives the beans their flavor. Then they remove the shells. This leaves the inner bean, called the nib. They grind the nib into a paste called chocolate liquor. Then they add other ingredients like cocoa butter, a bit of milk powder, some sugar, and a little vanilla. Then they use a machine called a conch to mix the paste so it is very smooth. Once they've mixed the chocolate, they pour it into molds. Sometimes they add other ingredients, such as nuts, orange, or even special rose petals. Finally, the bars are ready for the millions of chocolate lovers around the world. Cheese is older than recorded history. No one knows who invented it. It probably happened by accident. Today, there are thousands of different types of cheese. Many countries have their own special cheeses. When you think of the Netherlands, you think of Gouda. Italy's most famous cheese is probably Parmesan. And the French are famous for their soft cheeses, like Brie and Camembert. While the Danes eat more cheese than any other country, about 28 kilograms per person per year, it's the British who make more different types of cheese per person. There are more than 700 types of British cheese. This is amazing because just 60 years ago, the British only produced one type of cheese: cheddar. Cheddar is still the most popular cheese in the country. Today, most cheese is made in factories, but the best cheese is made by hand at farms where the milk comes from happy cows. This is Lyburn Farm in the south of England. The farm is a family-run business and it makes award-winning cheese. At 6 a.m., they milk their own cows. They heat and then cool the milk to 28 degrees. Then the cheesemaker adds something called rennet. The rennet makes the milk solid. Then they cut it. This separates into curds, which are solid, and whey, which is watery. When the curds are ready, they drain the whey. Next, they put the curds into special molds. There are 54 molds with about 6 kilograms of curd in each one. They leave these overnight. This machine squeezes all the liquid out of the mold. The next morning, there isn't any whey in the cheese. They store the cheese on the farm until it is ready. There are around 10,000 cheeses on the farm. This cheese gets better as it gets older. Some of the cheeses here are nearly 2 years old. When the cheese is finally ready, there are a lot of customers waiting to try a little bit. And it's well worth the wait. It's delicious.